Well, it's been another busy week in my sewing space. I've made a start on the Chanel jacket, joined in a challenge and made some fabulous t-shirts, found a free Skort pattern and made a sample of that up, and bought a new sewing machine. So if you're interested in finding out all about me and my sewing life, let's go. Hi there, I'm Christine the Gemini Stitcher and welcome to my sewing space. So it has been a busy old week this week, but before we start I just want to do a little apology. If you've been following my capsule wardrobe sew-alongs, you may have noticed that the sew-along for the final garment, the Pona jacket, was meant to go out on Saturday and it hasn't. Life just got in the way this last week. I got distracted by other projects and the Pona is not made. It's being cut out and the sew-along will go up. I'm going to try for next week, but I have got another busy week next week. But my commitment is by the end of June, the Pona will be done and up for the sew-along. So if you're waiting for that, please be patient with me. I've just had a busy old life since I got back off my holes and it's not getting any quieter. But what have I been up to in my sewing space this week? The first thing we're going to look at is my Chanel jacket. I have made a start on it. Now this is the Freddy jacket from Bella Loves Patterns. It comes in different heights and I have used a 5'3" pattern. So I've got the outside of the garment all sewn together. I've got the buttons sewn on the sleeves, hand stitched, I know, get me, hand stitched the patch pockets on the front and put the sleeve heads in. And then I ground to a halt because I needed some decent shoulder pads. They've now arrived, so we'll carry on with this next week. But I'm getting there. It is quite a meaty sew and I'm doing it in little chunks. I'm doing other things in between because I really have to concentrate and the old brain gets a bit mashed up at times. And then I go and do something that doesn't need much concentration and come back to it. So by the end of June, which is in my June plans, I'm confident, she says, famous last words, that the Freddy jacket will be finished. And then I will do a full vlog review on my process of making this jacket, let you know the pitfalls for if you want to make one, and what I thought of Bella Loves Patterns because it's the first of her patterns that I've used. So watch this space. That will probably come out early July because I've got to make it yet, haven't I? So that's the first thing that I made a start on, that I committed to doing this last week and I've done it. So I'm pleased with that. I've made a start on the Freddy jacket. So what else have I been up to? As I said, I was sewing the Freddy jacket and doing other bits and bobs in between just to keep my brain from going completely gaga. And I got on with a bit of my embroidery. Now on my June's makes, I had this and it's a desktop tidy and I've done it. I absolutely love this. It's from Sweet Pea Designs. How cute is that? And the front of it has got all embroidery there. Now this side I'm using for my hand sewing needles. You probably can't see them, but they're all stuck in the top there. Turn it round, and then the second side has got a pocket on, so I've got my applique scissors and my trusty unpicker. Now this unpicker I absolutely love, and I will bob a link below if I can find where I got it from. I think it's from somewhere called the Gadget Bee or something like that. It was actually in the Fabric Godmother advent box that I got the year before last, but loving that. The third side I got all my pins on, and then there's a pocket on the fourth side, and I've got my duckbill scissors, and then in the other pocket I put my little rotary cutter, which I'm using at the moment, so it's not there. It's got a little tag on top, and then it's even got embroidery underneath. I've done it in the colours that my sewing mats have been made in, and it looks great. I'm really pleased. It's helping to keep my workstation really organised. So if you've got an embroidery machine and you want to try something different that's useful, actually these would be great as gifts as well, wouldn't they? So if you're planning your Christmas gifts already, then this is the one to get. Obviously, you've got to have an embroidery machine. I got it from Sweet Pea Designs, and yeah, I will put the link for it in the details below. But I loved making that. I did it in a day. I had a day where I wasn't doing anything other than sew, and I got it all cut out, all embroidered and sewn together in a day. So that is item number 2 completed. So I completed one thing. I'm doing well. Now, because I was into my embroidery, I got the bug, and that's probably why I didn't do the pony jacket. Naughty me, it was too busy embroidering things, but you know, you've got to do what you feel like doing, and I was enjoying it. So when they had a sale on Sweet Pea Designs, I purchased, they do a sewing related bag. I'll pop an image of it up here. And I've had it since, probably about January, and never done it. So I've made a start on that. Now it's done again on the embroidery unit, and it's done in blocks. So I've started, I'm doing the biggest size, because you know, you go big or go home. It's going to be something that I can use to put all my sewing items in when I'm out and about. So I'll just show you the blocks that I've done. So that one's a block that says handmade. There's a block that's all stripes. So they're all the colours of the fabrics that I'm going to be using in my bag, incorporated in one block. You have to do 2 of each, one for the front of the bag and one for the back. So there's 16 blocks in total. And then the third one that I've done so far is this one that says sewing on it, and I've got some sewing related fabric that I've incorporated into that one as well. So I've made a start. I've done 3 of the blocks. Well, I've done 6 blocks in total. So I've got another 10 blocks to do. And then the rest of the bag you sew together on a normal sewing machine. But I'm looking forward to being able to use that, and I'm enjoying doing the blocks and choosing all the colours, and yeah, really enjoyed doing that last week. Then the third thing that I've done is use some fabric that I was going to use for the hinterland dress on my June plans, and I had a little change of heart. I was having my nails done, and I was chatting to Emma, who does my nails, about, she was asking what I've took on holiday and what do I wear when I'm away, and also telling her about my cruise that I'm going on in 3 weeks' time. I know. And I said I need really stuff that looks put together for when we're sightseeing, because obviously it's a cruise, you stop at different places virtually every day, get off, spend your day walking round. And yeah, I wanted to look put together, not just be wearing shorts and a t-shirt that don't match. Do you know what I mean? And she said, I like wearing Skorts, which I don't have. I've always made shorts. And I said, oh, why should it hides that area at the front? And I went, oh, now then. There's something to think about. So when I got home, I thought, let's see if I can find a free Skorts pattern, because the lovely Tamlin from Sewn on the Time has been talking about making a Skorts pattern, and she put the link for the one that she's making in her vlog. So I thought, I'll have a look at that one. But when I clicked on the link, the pattern was £16. Now it does come with a sew along, but I thought that was a bit steep, just for something that I want to try. Now I may buy that pattern now that I've made some, but I found a free pattern on Mood Fabrics. I'll pop an image of it up here. So if you fancy making a pair of Skorts or a skort, I don't know, is it a pair, it's a skirt, is it shorts, it's both, isn't it? Give this pattern a go. Really easy to put together. It's just got a side zip in it, and I used the fabric that I was going to make my hinterland dressing, because I had decided that's what I wanted to do. And here it is. Excuse the creases in the front. So it looks like a skirt, but it's actually a pair of shorts, and I've put a lovely gold zip. I've used continuous zipper tape and put a gold zip in the side. It just has facings on the inside and comes together really, really quickly. So yeah, I will pop an image of me up here wearing this skort or pair of Skorts. Now I did a size medium. It is a teeny bit snug on the waist, but I've got 3 weeks to shift that, because I'm still getting rid of the holiday flab from Cape Verde. It's coming off slowly, so hopefully I'll be back to my game weight for when I go on the cruise, and these will be a perfect fit. But absolutely love that pattern, and we'll definitely make another pair. Now obviously I had more than enough of this fabric to make a matching top, so it's a little cord set, but we'll talk about that in a bit when we talk about next week's plans. But definitely give that one a try if you don't like shorts but you want something shorter and you don't want a short skirt because it might show things that people don't want to see. Skorts, why have I never thought of them before? Really, really like these a lot. So that's all my makes for this week. And then, oh no, it's not. There's one last thing. I apologise, and I'm wearing it. So on Saturday, I joined the live that Sarah, my handmade wardrobe, was doing for the Mixed Up Tea Challenge. And this is the pattern. I made this on Saturday, so I've done it in a cotton jersey that I got from Little Legs Fabrics, and then the top has been done in some cotton eyelet fabric, lace I suppose, that I got from Sew Me Sunshine. It was a remnant, so they won't have any of this left in. But yeah, loving my latest version of the tea, mixed up tea. So that's 3 of them I've got so far. I think I need to wind my neck in and give it a rest for a bit, because I've already got quite a few t-shirts, but these will come in really handy. Really good pattern. I will pop the details below of how you can download the free pattern and get details of the weekend sewing club that she's launched as well. You can join that now, and you get a pattern every month. The first one comes out at the beginning of July. So give that a look and see if it's something you might quite like doing, but you can definitely grab yourself a free t-shirt pattern while you're there. So, I go to quite a few sewing socials. I go to the one that I run once a month, and then I also try to go to another one every month as well, because I love going to socials. I'm getting a bit addicted to them, I think. And I was taking either an okay, really lightweight Brother sewing machine, which was dodgy with the tension. I had to think about what I was taking with me. Will I be able to sew this on this machine or not? Blah, blah, blah. And it was limiting what I was actually sewing at the socials. The other alternative was to take my huge Brother MV1300, weighs a ton. Well, it does for me anyway. Need a big bag to cart it around in. And yeah, you get my drift. Now, when I was at Shropshire Sews, I think it was back in February, one of the ladies there was showing me the machine that she'd got. So if it's you, thanks. I finally dipped my toe in the water and joined you. And she had a FAF machine, but it was the FAF Passport, which is sold as either a beginner sewing machine or a portable one. So I've put my big FAF and the baby FAF next to each other, and then you can actually see. So here's my FAF Creative Icon machine, which is quite a big, heavy machine. No way, no how is that coming to a social with me. And then next to it here is the FAF Passport. Now, I got the FAF Passport too. I didn't get a new machine. I got this from UK Sewing Machines, I think. I'll pop the link below. And it's a pre-loved one. So I think I paid about $280 for it. Not cheap, I know, but it is a FAF machine. It does a lot of the things that the Creative Icon does. Obviously, it doesn't embroider. It's got the IDT foot built in, which if you don't know what that is, it's the built-in walking foot. And then we'll get up close to it because it looks quite diddy there, doesn't it? And I can show you some of the things that I'm chuffed about that it actually does. So here we go. It's got the built-in IDT foot, which is under here, which lifts up and comes down when you need to use it. It uses the exact same presser feet that my Creative Icon uses, so that's another bonus. It's got a stop-start, so you don't need to use your presser foot if you don't want to. The reverse is there. Needle up, down. You can move the needle to the left and right, the needle position with these. There's an information button there for help, and it has a little thing that pulls out here, and then on here there are 70 different stitch options that you can use, and you just use these buttons here to select the stitch that you want to use. There's your little reverse button, and yeah, it's the FAF Passport 2. It's not light as a feather, it feels sturdy, but not too heavy to hike in around and to take to socials. So this is going to be my new social sewing machine of choice. So what am I planning on doing next week or this week? Well, I've got another busy week. I've got my social on Wednesday, and then on the Saturday I'm going to Lower Wick social over near Halifax, which I've been to before, and we're going back for a repeat visit because we enjoyed it so much. So I'm off over there with Steph on Saturday for a day out, which will be great. What am I going to actually be sewing this week? Well, I want to make a top to go with the Skorts, and I want to call it the Archipel top. Please forgive me, my French is rubbish. I'll put an image of it up here. It's from Italia Scanner, and it's one of the French pattern companies that were in my 5 French pattern companies vlog. So if you want to go and watch that, I go through 5 new to me French pattern companies and have a little chat about what patterns I like on their sites. Quite a few of you asked me to do this top, so I'm going to do one of those tops to match the Skorts. So that's on my radar for this week, but I don't think that that's going to be a huge sew. I'm going to do some more of my Freddy Jacket, obviously, and I'm going to do some more of my embroidery blocks, and I think that's enough for this week. I'm going to try and break the back of the Freddie. I'm not saying I'll get it finished. It'd be nice to think that I could do, but we'll see. So that's 3 little things to do next week. And the weather's going to be scorching apparently. So who knows? I might not get any sewing done. I might just sit in the garden and chill instead. I won't. I'm very lucky. My sewing space is in the garden and my big bifold doors here that I can open. So if it's hot weather, I'll just get those open and carry on with my sewing. I hope you've enjoyed our little chat today. I hope I've inspired you. Let me know what you're doing, and if you have enjoyed my vlog, give it a like. Let me know what you think of it. What do you want me to include that I'm not including? I'm open to ideas, and if you've stuck with it this long and you've not subscribed, then please consider subscribing. It costs you nothing and it helps my little channel to grow. So I will love you and leave you, and see you all next Monday when we'll do the sew along for the pony jacket, because I've made a decision. I always have done 2 vlogs per week, but I'm going to try and whittle it down to 1 and give myself a little bit more sewing time instead, so I hope you don't mind. We'll be doing 1 vlog a week on a Monday, and it might be a bumper vlog if I've got a lot to talk about. So I will see you all next week. Have a lovely sewing week. Love you loads. Bye.